And for more on the worsening security situation in the country, let's bring in the Executive Director of Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, Awal Ramsajani, who joins us live from New York City. Good to have you join us, Awal Ramsajani. The security situation in the country is one that leaves as such that no one is spared, and no part of the country has also been spared. We've seen attacks on traders, on worshippers, on even security agencies and their personnel. They've also been at the receiving end. And now the lower chamber is saying that, look, it's time for the president to declare a state of emergency on security. How do you react to that call?
Thank you very much. Everybody, any Nigerians or even those who are living outside Nigeria, they know that the country is actually in a state of crisis, and every effort must be put on deck to ensure that the country is secured, the people are protected, and therefore the president, the governors, and all other stakeholders, they have responsibility to ensure that they secure this country, because what is going on is absolutely unacceptable. This is not, a normal situation. What we are seeing, is a deliberate and concerted effort, which has been fueled by corruption, mismanagement, and impunity in the country that has led us to where we are. If there are accumulative injustice in the country, if there are no room for people to express their grievances and concern in a very peaceful and democratic way, then this is what you are going to have. So therefore, we think that it is absolutely necessary that there's need for concerted and collective effort among all the stakeholders at all levels in the society to curtail illicit small arms and light weapons proliferation, because this is one of the major problem that is giving rise to the level of insecurity we are seeing. Number two, we also need to ensure that there is an intervention at national, state, and local level to be strengthened, in order to promote peaceful coexistence amongst the different ethnic and religious groups, as well as political, groups in Nigeria. If you do not do this, the problem will continue to manifest.
Mr. Ramsajani,
Number three.
I just, let me reiterate, I should stress that question, because you've stated some of the challenges and some of the things that you want the government to do. You're talking about concerted efforts at all arms and tiers of government. Will it be necessary at this time to say, if we're going to have that concerted effort, perhaps we should have a state of emergency or declare a state of emergency on security as proposed by the House of Representatives?
Absolutely, I absolutely agree with the National Assembly that what we need now is part of the concerted effort is to declare state of emergency in the security sector and carry out a more robust, sincere, security sector reform. Because if you don't carry out, security reform in Nigeria, there's no way you could be able to resolve the kind of situation we are facing. So I totally agree, and I support the call to declare state of emergency in the security sector in Nigeria, because if you don't do that, the consequences of this is that the whole state, the whole country will be overwhelmed, just like you have seen now. The security personnel who are supposed to be protecting us are now primary target of these criminal, terrorists and bandits and insurgents. We cannot allow our country to draw this way. And we have been advising government over and over times that, look, stop, corruption in the security sector. Carry out robust reform to reform the security sector. The security personnel themselves, many of them, they are not actually given the necessary facilities and equipment and even welfare motivation to be able to do this work. You cannot be
and it's interesting that you say that, especially the attacks on security formations that we've seen across the country, particularly in the southeastern part of the country. And the president is now soliciting for help from the United States. And we've also heard the United Kingdom saying they are also willing to help. How far will this go, especially now that the situation is, like you said, overwhelming?
Since during Jonathan administration and up to the time of President Muhammadu Buhari, we have been advising them that Nigeria has bilateral relationship with, America, Britain, and other European countries, and countries that have experienced similar insurgency and, terrorism, situation. They need to seek for support and help to be able to mitigate and deal with, this kind of crisis we're facing. But they ignore it because insecurity in Nigeria has become a profit making for some people. That is why some people, they don't want it to end. Unfortunately, now it's consuming everybody. So there's no need for any pretense about the capability that we have. We don't simply have. So therefore, we need to seek support, intelligence support, equipment support, and even physical support to save the country and save the people. We cannot afford to be counting numbers every day. A lot of young children are being kidnapped. A lot of people are being killed like ants. We cannot afford this. This country needs to declare state of emergency in the security sector. Some people are using ethnicity and religion to even fuel more trouble in the country. So there's need to decisively, ensure that we carry out security sector reform by ensuring that even criminals that are being recruited in the security sector, they should be gone, because some people allege that some of the security, personnel that have been recruited, because the recruitment system has been corrupted, some of them, they also have element of corruption or element of criminal, tendency. So there's need to totally reform and have people who understand the security sector beyond just protecting regime.
All right.
The problem is that people have just...
All right. I'm afraid we do have to leave it there. Thank you so much for talking to us, Executive Director of Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, Awal Ramsajani. Good to have you talk to us.
Thank you very much.